if you knew this or not, but the Philadelphia Eagles won a game this weekend. They broke a 2-game losing streak that included a piss-poor, anemic offensive performance against the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football. The Eagles got everything kind of figured out. Kind of, sort of, not really. But we did learn that at least against the Minnesota Vikings, throwing the ball can actually work for your team, your town, your Philadelphia Eagles. And it seems like in the aftermath of that game, there are some people who are a little bit positive now about young Jalen Hurts, who they were ready to crucify a week ago. Some were ready to jettison into the sun a week ago, 10 days ago, 11 days ago now. I'm not positive. I can't really hear a lot of the haters this afternoon. It's morning in Hawaii, I think. We'll call it morning. But I don't hear a lot of the Hurts haters this week because Jalen Hurts put on a masterclass of passing. Now, did this game absolve Kevin Patullo of all of his sins? No. I was at the Basilica, at the Cathedral in Philadelphia for Mass on Sunday. I can tell you that the bishop did not absolve Kevin Patullo of his offensive sins. But maybe those prayers that were put up into heaven, maybe those prayers are the ones that got the passing game fixed, because although it was not perfect, the Eagles put on a hell of a performance against Minnesota. By the time the game was over and all was said and done, Jalen Hurts went 19 of 23 for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And that, my friends, leads to a perfect passer rating. And you might be saying to yourself,
but Russ, if he's 19 of 23, that means 4 of the passes weren't complete. How can it be a perfect game?
Don't ask me. I'm a stupid idiot. Don't count that against me. I don't know. The entire idea of the perfect passer rating seems really dumb to me. It does. Like, if you think about it, if you don't complete a pass, that means something was imperfect. How do you get to a 158.3 passer rating and say 158.3 is a perfect passer rating? I don't know. Somebody could probably explain it. I can't. I'm just a normal guy talking into a normal microphone with a normal backdrop with a normal show on YouTube, Facebook, and X, and wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm just a guy. I can't explain 158.3. But what I can explain is that Jalen Hurts looked every bit of the guy who won the Eagles a Super Bowl and outperformed Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls. There was a dagger play, a 79-yard bomb to Devontae Smith. And that might be where we actually start, because Devontae Smith apparently, well, he kind of got the feeling that was going to work. Devontae Smith apparently advocated for that play, advocated for that bomb over the top. It was as if Devontae Smith could see the future. He was like Doctor Strange. He sat down on the sideline. Maybe A.J. Brown's reading a book on one side. Saquon Barkley's reading his new book on the other. Devontae Smith's just sitting there, legs crossed, hands up like this, and he's just seeing every possibility. But he seemed to know that this play call was going to work. And I will also note that this was since confirmed by Saquon Barkley, and I believe by Jordan Mailata this morning, that yes, Devontae Smith did come up saying that this is a play that they should run. And apparently he talked about it with Landon Dickerson, and they were talking about the right coverage and everything, line assignments and everything. So I want to go out to Devontae Smith, because this to me is very telling, but maybe not for the reason that you think it will be. So let's go out first. Here's Devontae Smith talking about the 79-yard touchdown play. And I just want you to drop your thoughts, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I think this was. All right, here we go.
Play run at all on that play action?
Yeah, anytime we were in that formation, they were bringing the safety all the way down in the box, putting the other safety on the edge.
So there it is, safeties. Anytime they ran the formation, safety came down into the box, the other safety went out to the edge. Every single time they were in that formation. Again, predictability of the offense, we report, you decide.
So Isaiah was kind of putting a crunch there.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for him. They're playing a certain coverage, and he has a certain responsibility, and we attacked him.
So just simply put, whenever they were in that specific setup, that specific alignment, that specific formation, Devontae noticed where Isaiah Rodgers went, former teammate Isaiah Rodgers, who a lot of people have kind of lamented not being here anymore. And I think even after Devontae burned him, I think we'd probably still take Isaiah Rodgers back here. But Devontae Smith notes that anytime we were in this formation, safety moved, and he kind of knew that there was a chance that a big play could come to fruition. Now, does that speak to the predictability of the Eagles' offense? It might. It could. We talked about this last week, that Brian Baldinger kind of did the breakdown of third down play calls. And there were 4 instances against, I think it was the Giants, where you saw mirrored receiver routes on 4 third down play calls in the same game. So there is still a predictability here to this offense. And Devontae Smith is the one who ultimately called for this. Now, he can't go into the huddle and say, hey, Jalen, we're going to run that play. Bitch. No. But he said, this is the play. Mailata talked about it. Apparently Dickerson talked about it. It was brought up, and they decided to run it. And it worked. And so Devontae Smith has a hell of a game. 9 receptions, 183 yards, and a touchdown. And then the other guy that we're typically used to kind of hearing from or about in the aftermath of games, A.J. Brown, has a gigantic third down catch. And it was 3rd and 13 in the 4th quarter. Hurts rolls out, pocket totally collapses. He's about to run himself almost out of bounds. He throws across his body to A.J. Brown for a massive first down. And ultimately, the play that ices the game is a deep play down the left sideline to A.J. Brown, who eventually gets down, and they're able to run out the clock. Minnesota doesn't even have the opportunity to run a play. Oh, and by the way, A.J. Brown had the first touchdown of the game. So kind of a big deal. Kind of, sort of a big deal.